Okay, thank you for joining us for our next talk, celebrating Earth Month here in the city of Delray Beach. Really appreciate Cornell Museum and DDA hosting us today. And we have Chris Chittister that works with City of Delray Beach in the sustainability section, and he's going to give a talk on benchmarking energy performance. Thanks, Chris.
All right, welcome back, everybody. I will apologize up front. This one may be a little bit more androgynous than my last one. I don't know it as well. So I'm going to read all my notes and then I'm going to try to make some sense out of them for you. All right, this is an introduction to building performance benchmarking, specifically using EPA Portfolio Manager. All right, let's just get right into it. What is building benchmarking? Building performance benchmarking involves systematically assessing the energy use, water consumption, waste generation, and other relevant metrics of buildings and comparing them to buildings of similar size, age, and function. Basically, what that means is this is a database of buildings that people have put in a basic amount of information, and then it is compared to all the other buildings in the country that are in this system, and it tells you how you stack up based on a score of 0 to 100. Unlike my last presentation, this one, the higher the score, the better. Some of the biggest, most important things, doing this is going to provide valuable insights into the overall efficiency of buildings, and it helps identifies opportunities for improvement. And that is one of the big things that we're trying to look at in the city, is benchmarking our own buildings, being able to identify those with higher energy use intensity, which is the amount of energy used per square foot. And so when we look at what uses the most, that should tell us, hey, you should take a deeper dive into this building. And see why is it your biggest one. Is it the wastewater treatment plant, or is it an office with a window open and an air conditioner running 24 hours a day? Some of the key metrics that are used, we talked about energy consumption, water usage, and waste, but there could be other things such as indoor environmental quality that play into some of these programs. So why benchmark your buildings? There are lots of benefits, really. Energy savings being one of them. But those energy savings, they lead to cost reductions, but they also lead to greenhouse gas emission reductions and even elimination. This allows building owners to track their performance over time, enabling them to gauge the effectiveness of implemented efficiency measures. This is a system where the more information you have, the better decisions you can make. So if we were to say, have this information for the entire city, we could track how effective our policies are that we put into place that are intended to reduce greenhouse gases. There's a lot of additional benefits beyond just the energy efficiency. It also can help ensure compliance with regulations and standards such as local energy disclosure ordinances and voluntary certification programs like LEED or the Florida Green Building Coalition, the National Green Building Standard, or any other of the litany of voluntary sustainability programs there are out there. This in particular ties in nicely with our own green building ordinance, where we are requiring all new construction over 15,000 square feet, regardless of type, to obtain a basic level of certification in some green program. We specifically call out LEED, Florida Green Building Coalition, National Green Building Standard, and the Green Globes program. But there are so many other programs out there that if it's an equivalent program to one of those, we're going to accept it. The idea here is to just kind of get more people involved here and show the development community that is afraid that these things are going to cost too much, that they really don't, and they're honestly in their best interest. That makes the building worth more money up for sale because the owner has less operational expenses and in a lot of cases less maintenance expenses. All right. EPA Portfolio Manager. It's been around forever. I've heard these words a million times. I'm just now really digging into it and learning, how can we use this in the city? And so it's free. It's an online tool developed by the EPA, and it's designed to help building owners manage, measure, track energy consumption and greenhouse gas emissions across their entire portfolio of buildings. So some people might just own one building, but in the city, I think we have 410 different assets. That all use energy, that have an electricity meter. So the primary purpose of this platform really is to benchmark energy performance to facilitate best practices with energy management. It plays a crucial role in building performance management by enabling users to assess their building's energy performance, use that to set goals for improvement, and compare this against other buildings nationwide. This is not difficult to do. This is one of the reasons that I find this software so easy, or so great, is because it's easy to use. You need a very limited amount of information. If you're a homeowner, you can benchmark your building in 15 minutes. The most complicated is multifamily buildings, where there might be multiple owners, all different tenants, all paying a different bill. Obtaining that aggregated building data, not really easy to do right now. We are, however, working with several municipalities together to basically bully FPL into providing us this information more easily. They seem like they want to help. But we'll see. This information, like I said, it's simple. It's the building location, building use, building size, and one consecutive year of bills. That's really all you need to benchmark your building. The reason is size, use, age. You can all kind of guess what level of energy use intensity these buildings are going to have. And then when we put in the bills, it has regional data for how is that electricity produced. Might be surprised to find out in the Palm Beach County we burn a lot of trash. That actually has an amazingly low level of emissions. It's new research I'm doing. It's somehow burning trash is better than burning fossil fuels for energy. So the point is this is not a big ask. This is something that I think building owners can do very easily without hiring a consultant. And I think really just having this information in front of them, they'll start making better decisions for their own. They're going to realize, oh wow, I waste a lot of energy, meaning I waste a lot of money. If you're running a building, that's money's, again, back to the money. All right, some of the features, interesting features about Portfolio Manager. One is that you can get your building recognition. Over a 75 score out of 100 gets you an Energy Star certification recognition for your building, which can be used for marketing. Sometimes there are tax credits and rebates involved with those kinds of things from either the government or your local utility providers. Not so much in Florida, but it does exist. And again, this enables users to track and manage their building energy consumption. This is a big piece. Having that knowledge is the big piece of understanding how to best move forward. The reporting and analysis. It has a lot of reporting and analysis tools. This is something, again, I feel useful on a larger scale. The more information you have, the better. Cities like Miami require this benchmarking across their entire city. If you are a building owner, you have to do this, and you have to keep it updated. And I don't know how often, but they will fine you $250 if you don't do it. And the reason is because all that information gets fed back to the city. And so they can look at the greenhouse gas emissions on a citywide perspective. That gives them so much more knowledge to make informed decisions in how to move the city forward and get the most bang for the buck. What are the most effective strategies? What are the most effective technologies? What are the most cost effective out of all of those? Using that information to then implement policies, and then also to just educate builders, and building owners about what are the things they can do to make this difference. All right. Now you can see building benchmarking and Portfolio Manager, they can play a pretty vital role in addressing the greenhouse gas emissions. Building benchmarking and leveraging tools like this, helps building owners identify opportunities for improvement, track their progress over time, and ultimately reduce consumption, operating costs, and make meaningful reductions to greenhouse gas emissions. So if there's anybody or anybody that sounds interesting, have them reach out if they need some help. We'd be happy to help get this knowledge out there. I figure the more people that really are participating in this, the faster it'll spread. So if you think anything that you've heard just now is important, let your city know. Let people know. Spread this word. When you have these conversations, a lot of times people shake like, oh, that's a great idea. That's a great idea, and then there's no action. The action really comes from getting involved in your local municipality and letting them know that this is important to you, that it's important to the community, because that allows groups like our sustainability office to understand what does our community want, what does our community think is the most important, and then be able to come up with strategies to put that into action. So if the single most important thing you can do is be more educated about what's going on and what kinds of things like this are being implemented or not in your city. All right, there were supposed to be some examples here, but data is a little harder to get from FPL than you might think, and so I had to scratch 3 slides here that were supposed to show us some of the examples, but stay tuned for next time, and we'll have an update on how the city's doing, because we are actively working to benchmark all of our assets in the city.